Back in March on NWP, I had picked Alex Bowman to make the round of 8. I thought it was a pretty solid pick, and a lot of people even called it a layup at the time. And if this team and driver can execute, yeah, I think they still can. And can you blame me? I mean, after Homestead, the guy was 3rd in overall points. He had just won the pole in the previous race, and he had nearly beat Kyle Larson at his best track. Yet now when you look at the discourse around Bowman halfway through June of 2025, it's a completely different story. Since Homestead, there has been just a very suboptimal way of running for the 48 team. In 9 starts, obviously he hasn't won yet, but only 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s with 48 laps led. His average finish, 27.4, and moving him from 3rd to 13th in points with 3 DNFs. Let's just be honest, this has been a complete downward spiral. This has been a complete implosion from the 48 team, a team that seemed like a bona fide favorite to make it deep in the NASCAR playoffs this year, now is in danger of not even doing so. Now, I get it. We're 15 races in. There's still 11 left. But look at these races and look at some of what's going on around it, and you can kind of question why. Why is this happening? I mean, Martinsville, for instance, 27th place finish. Would you believe me if I told you that in the last 9 races, that was his 3rd best finish? That's insanity. Darlington, way off the pace after a bunch of troubles in the pits and other issues. 1 stage point, but a 35th place finish. Bristol, 16 stage points, and actually looked to be on pace with the guys that were good that day. Larson, Hamlin, Hocevar, you name it. But a DNF because of a blown engine really nullified all of those big gains. He did well at Talladega. Okay, that's good. You know, maybe not have that kind of disaster kind of day, and you can make up a lot of points with a good run of the super speedway. But a crash after getting 8 stage points at Texas, that does not really do anything for me. Really just canceled it all out. A top 5, though, at Kansas with 9 stage points, I would argue is his best run of the year since Homestead. But the last 3 races, those are the ones that are really troublesome. Coke 600, Nashville, and Michigan, basically since they went on Prime. No stage points earned in that time for Alex Bowman. He has not got any stage points at this point in over a month. And all 3 races have different reasons for why he was so off. For instance, he spun in the 600 and fell way off the pace, 3 laps down in that race and 29th. Again, would you believe me if I said this was on the positive half of his finishes in the last 9 races? At Nashville, was involved in a crash, finished 36th. Wasn't terrible, ran close to the top 10, and he probably could have gotten a top 10 run out of it, but just not good luck. And then Michigan. Now, off face value, a 36th place finish with a crash, and when you look at the crash, would have a lot of people saying, well, he can't help that. And I agree, the driver cannot help that. But let's not pretend that after the opening laps at Michigan, the 48 car didn't just drop to the back like a rock. He was running between 25th and 32nd off of speed all race that he was in it before finally and maybe mercifully being taken out of it. This is a team that's lost a bit of speed lately, a team that is very hit or miss and cannot have consistency if it shot them in the face. If anything, they're just continuously getting shot in the foot. But with 11 races to go, what is the outlook? Because we can look at what's been happening as something that's doom and gloom, but I would argue that the last 9 races are the worst possible outcome that a competitive team can have. These are numbers I'd expect out of Rick Ware Racing, not Hendrick Motorsports. So I think that the law of averages may swing back into Alex Bowman's favor. For instance, with 11 races to go until the playoffs, what is the outlook of tracks? Well, you have 11 tracks to look at, 4 of which are road courses. Now, we don't know about Mexico. That one is probably going to be a bit of a question mark, I would say, heading in. But Chicago, he won there last year and has been pretty damn good. Sonoma, he's been mediocre, runs top 20, but we've seen how he is at COTA, and maybe that can translate over at some point. Same goes for Watkins Glen, where he's been mediocre. Pocono, he's been decent. That's a flat, long track, and the Brickyard, well, he crashed last year, but we don't really have too much of a litmus test with this car, so We just don't know. We have 2 super speedway races. Echo Park, as they call it now, where he's, let's just be honest, not very good. But Daytona, where he's been consistent, and in the last 7 races has a top 10 average finish. Hendrick Motorsports is pretty damn good there, won the Daytona 500. Alex Bowman could win his way in right at the end of the regular season. And then you look at some of the intermediate tracks, or at least one of them, I should say, because technically there's only one left with Dover, a smaller intermediate, and he is damn good in the last 2 races, a 6.5 average, better than anybody else that has raced both races, and he's won there before. That's another one he could win at. And then you have 2 short tracks. He's hit or miss at Richmond, but he got an 8th place finish last year at Iowa, which is very similar. If they're able to hit it when it comes to the setups, the string of races with Iowa, Watkins Glen, Richmond, and Daytona just might save Bowman's season. Now, historically, Bowman has been actually worse at the end of the summer speed-wise. We've seen this pretty much every year with the next gen, and even in the year he won 4 races in 2021, he was not good at the end of the summer. So for him to be this bad now means that there is no margin for error with any of this. They cannot afford to have that slump in speed this year, because look at the drivers that they're going to be around and fighting. When you look at the ones that are still not locked in off of a win, you have Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick too far gone to catch. If he is going to make it on points, he's not beating his teammate Chase or Tyler Reddick. Bubba Wallace is plus 48 over him. That team is strong in the second half, and it seems like they're starting to hit their stride into the summer like they always do. I don't see them collapsing down to the 48s level, being nearly a full race worth of points away. Chase Briscoe is 28 up. I do see him as somebody that is vulnerable. He is at JGR, so they could turn it on or win at any time, and we've seen that in the past with Briscoe in general. But he's somebody that I think it's doable to catch. Chris Buescher is plus 7 over him, but let's be honest, he should be plus 37, and that team runs a lot better. Now, he is 13 points ahead of both Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch. Both of them are better than they were last year, one with the team they're with now and one that was with a different team, and I can say both of these guys are completely beatable. Preece has 48 stage points on the year, which of those that are between 12th and 16th is 3rd, right behind Bubba and Bowman. As for Kyle Busch, he's better than 2024, but he's still pretty mediocre. Carson Hocevar is 31 points behind Alex Bowman, but he has put together a pretty similar season, just has a little bit more issues closing out races. He is a total wild card in this fight and could really shuffle this whole thing up. AJ Allmendinger could win at a road course at any point, and Ricky Stenhouse, well, Bowman's just better than him in every way at this point. But looking at their season so far, when it comes to those from 12th on the grid down to 20th, Alex Bowman is second only to Bubba Wallace with stage points earned. Bubba with 107, Bowman with 83. Hocevar is the closest one, 78, and then from there, there's really nobody else close to the 48. If he is able to score those stage points and not wreck every week, I don't see any reason why he can't. Will he make the NASCAR playoffs? I don't know. I tweeted yesterday, it's time to panic, and I am standing by that. I do think it's time to panic when you look historically at Alex Bowman, but even hemorrhaging points, Bowman is still in. He is still, after the worst stretch of his career since being at BK Racing, he is still in the playoffs, and that team still can turn it on at any point as well. Let's not act like they can't just have their random win in the next 11 races like they seem to have just about every year. And the issue for me isn't really pointing their way in at the moment. The issue for me is that I don't think the current 16th, 17th place line is going to stay. I think Bowman is below the comfort line easily, because all it takes is AJ Allmendinger and maybe SVG winning at the 4 remaining road courses in the regular season. Mexico, Chicago, Sonoma, Watkins Glen. That could throw a major monkey wrench into this. Hocevar, like I said before, might not have his best tracks coming up, but let's not pretend the guy isn't good enough with speed so far this year that he can't just pop off and win one. You could have a random rain race, for instance. We've seen it before. So there are so many variables that for me to feel comfortable about Alex Bowman this year, he's got to catch somebody like Bubba Wallace or Chase Briscoe, preferably both. But that's all I got on it. Now I want to know what you think. Do you think Alex Bowman can still make the 2025 NASCAR playoffs? And if he makes it, do you think he can compete? Or is he just going to be taking up a spot that somebody better could be in? Let me know down in the comments below. Well, all right, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great and fun NASCAR content. Thank you so much, all my channel members, for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.